It was a cold morning in 2025 when the streets of Stuttgart were still waking up. The city was quiet, but something extraordinary was waiting behind the tall glass walls of the Mercedes headquarters. Covered under a silk sheet, stood a car that was not just another addition to the Mercedes lineup, it was the beginning of a new era. As the sheet slowly slipped away, what appeared beneath it was nothing short of breathtaking. A car that seemed alive, its sharp headlights glowing like eyes filled with confidence. This was the third-generation Mercedes-Benz CLA, and from the very first glance, it was clear, the future had arrived. The crowd gasped as the coupe-like silhouette shone under the lights. The aerodynamic body reflected a perfect blend of elegance and aggression. Every angle, every curve, was designed not just to be seen, but to be felt. It was the kind of design that made people stop in their tracks, whispering to themselves, "This is not just a car. This is art." Stepping closer, the grille revealed hundreds of tiny Mercedes stars embedded within, a galaxy shining on the front of a machine. It wasn't just a badge anymore, it was a statement. But the real magic began once you opened the door. Inside, the world outside seemed to fade away. The cabin felt like stepping into the future, a glass screen stretched across the dashboard, glowing softly with ambient lights. The MBUX superscreen came alive, welcoming the driver with a voice that wasn't just artificial intelligence, but something more, something that felt almost human. "Good morning," it said softly. And in that moment, the CLA wasn't just a car. It was a companion. The leather seats wrapped around like a warm embrace. Sustainable fabrics, eco-friendly trims, and lights that adjusted with your mood. It wasn't just luxury, it was comfort with a conscience. Outside, the streets were waiting. With a gentle press, the engine, or in some versions, the silent hum of electricity, came to life. The electric CLA promised nearly 800 kilometers of range, enough to cross borders without fear. And when it came time to charge, it was faster than brewing a cup of coffee, 10 minutes for hundreds of kilometers. But for those who weren't ready to let go of tradition, there was still the option of a turbocharged engine, efficient and eager, proving Mercedes hadn't forgotten its roots. As the CLA rolled out onto the road, the city seemed to transform. With each turn, its low-drag design sliced through the air. The 4MATIC all-wheel drive gripped the wet streets effortlessly. The driver didn't just feel in control, they felt connected, as if the car anticipated every move. On the highway, the CLA showed its second personality. Silent, stable, futuristic. With MB Drive Assist, it could steer, brake, and accelerate on its own. The driver leaned back, hands barely touching the wheel, watching as the CLA guided itself with confidence. Cameras, radars, and sensors created an invisible shield around it. Safety wasn't just a promise here, it was a guarantee. And then came the night drive. The stars above mirrored the stars inside the grille. The ambient glow inside danced with the music, the superscreen displaying not just maps, but memories, calendars, and even conversations powered by AI. The CLA didn't just take you home. It knew your world. By the time the journey ended, one thing was clear. The CLA was not just built to drive. It was built to live with you, to learn you, to evolve with you. It wasn't just a machine. It was a story, one that began in 2025 and would carry on for years to come. As the driver stepped out and the lights faded, the CLA rested quietly. But it wasn't asleep. It was waiting, ready for the next chapter in its story. Because the Mercedes-Benz CLA is not just a car. It is the beginning of a new era.